Congratulations to you both. What a roller coaster of an afternoon. But Jared, that must feel like a huge point.
Nah, it's a massive point. Coming into this, probably no one expected us to get anything from the game. So maybe we use that in our advantage a bit. And you see the intensity and just going at them and putting them under pressure, because if you give them time on the ball, they can create things like that. So we got the crowd on side. It wasn't the start that we wanted, but we dug in, we kept working, and we nearly nicked it at the end. But like you said, a point coming into this is massive for us.
You say nearly nicking it at the end, the roller coaster. Perhaps no one experienced that as much as you did, giving away the penalty and then, nearly getting that winning goal.
Yeah, I know, very frustrating. No, but with the pen, I think it's so harsh. Obviously, my arm's literally just sticking out as close to the body as can be. The only thing I can do is sit my hand behind my back. But obviously, take positives from the game. Before the game, we've 100% taken the point from that. It's a massive point to get us a point higher in the league, and we're just going to grow from that, because obviously you can see the confidence that we got, going 2-0 down, managed to get 2-2 with the league leaders. We're just going to build on it and keep going.
I'm keen to stick with the positives, but I must ask, what went on in that first 10, 20 minutes? You just couldn't seem to get any kind of grip on it.
No, do you know what? I think we started kind of a bit on the front foot and tried to get about them. And, it was two probably lapses of concentration in the penalty box where, we weren't tracking our runners and, we got punished for it. But like Mickey said, the character in this group has never gone. Of course, it hasn't been what we've wanted, but we've never let our heads go. We always, you see at the end of the game there, everyone's on their feet. You know how much this means for us, for the whole fans, for everyone, and a massive point.
Yeah, huge point for West Ham United. Mikel Antonio didn't think it was a penalty. Centre forward union, did you agree?
I didn't think it was a penalty either. But the way the game is now, they get given, but it's not a penalty. I'm sorry, it's not a penalty.
Totally agree. Yeah, I didn't think it was a penalty at all. In fact, I think he said everything that we needed to know in the interview there, Antonio. I thought his hand wasn't really in an unnatural position. I thought the shot actually came from about a yard and a half away. As ever, when a ball hits an arm, it then flails because the weight of the ball actually makes it, swing and whatever. But he's so close to him. I find that very harsh.
Do you think it was a striker's attempt at blocking the penalty?
I don't think he tried to block it at all.
Do
you think it was a pen?
No. Yeah, I thought it was handball because the guy's hand's out there when it hits it. You watch defenders go and make that challenge. You watch defenders go in that and they put their hands behind their back.
No, but that's...
Sure.
For me, that's unnatural.
Yeah.
Defending by putting your hands behind your back. Who defends like that?
That's the way it is this season. You leave your arm out there and the ball hits it, it's going to get given.
Yeah.
How do you feel for Bukayo Saka before the game?
It's so disappointing because, he's got a lot of balls to take the penalty, and obviously with his previous history as well. He's come back and played the way he has done. But people will remember this, above a lot of what he's been doing this season. It's not over yet. There's still going to be a few more twists, but this is a big day for Man City, I think.
Yeah.
That's potentially a twist, that moment there, isn't it?
It is, and watching the last couple of games, Arsenal, last week Liverpool and this week, game management. If you go 2 goals up, it's about game management from there. Yeah. Another team's going to create chances, of course, but as Arsenal, you've got to say to yourself, we need to get a third one here. I think once they went 2-0 up, Arsenal comfortable, very, very comfortable. But I thought they dropped off a little bit. Intensity dropped with 2-0 up, away to West Ham. West Ham get themselves back in the game, fortunately, via a penalty. Game changes. Everything changed on that penalty.
Yeah, and as I said, Michael, what made it worse for Arsenal was just 2 minutes, 22 seconds later, suddenly they've been pegged back at the other end.
Well, exactly, and how many times do we see it, either a big save or a big incident, and this time, obviously, it was a big penalty miss, and then all of a sudden, within a blink of an eye, at the other end, there's a goal, and the whole game has changed on its head. This is a really interesting goal. The ball was cleared, but you look at the back four here, the left side of the defence and the right side of the defence are all totally disjointed. They've cleared the ball, and they've not been able to keep up. And what's happened is, obviously, Bowen has then used that to his advantage because he can stay onside on the side of the pitch where, they've squeezed up too high. It's defensively, I'd say he's going to be frustrated, Mikel Arteta. You've got to, if you're going to squeeze up, you've got to squeeze in a line. And Yeah, Bowen's taken full advantage. Good finish as well. Not easy.
Aaron Ramsdale got a hand to it. Talk us through his angle there as he sees it.
No,
Could he have done any more?
the angle he's got is perfect. I think what's done him is the fact that Bowen's hit it into the ground. You know, so then obviously straight away your eyes go lower, and then it's coming back at you higher. It's like a downward header, you know, and that's what's done Aaron. But yeah, Bowen's got a great contact on it, you know, so the pace has done him at the near post.
We were always told as youngsters to head the ball into the ground. And you never think why, you just do it because you've been told to do it.
Yeah.
But I just wonder why, actually, from a goalkeeper's point of view. Is it because you don't... It's hard to then judge how high it's going to bounce, and it's all, as you say, you're down and then you're up.
And it generates more pace as well, once it hits the turf.
And sometimes you'll get skid on it as well, you know, but it's when it goes down, because you look down and then it's coming back up at you. You know, that's the hardest adjustment.
It's hard to then judge how high it's going to bounce, and it's all, as you say, you're down and then you're up.
And it generates more pace as well, once it hits the turf.
And sometimes you'll get skid on it as well, you know, but it's when it goes down, because you look down and then it's coming back up at you. You know, that's the hardest adjustment, you know, and Aaron got a good hand on it, you know, nearly got it out onto the post. But
You wouldn't rule that out, would you?
No, not at all. And there will be loads more twists, Steve. We looked at the fixtures before the game, and as much as we think this game is going to be the big game, and of course it is at the Etihad between Manchester City and Arsenal, there are still a few tough games. That was a tough game today. I know teams are near the bottom of the league, but going away from home in the Premier League against anyone, Manchester United might find that as well in 15 minutes or so. Nottingham Forest or anywhere away from home is tough in the Premier League.
It's obviously my time playing. The manager always used to say, the season never got started until now. Easter, you'd be talking about 30 games in. Points get dropped around this kind of time, and champions make themselves from now.
Yeah,
you know, it's crazy.
And the last two games for Arsenal only back that up, don't they, really?
There you go.
Look at
there you go.
Some tough games there. And we'll highlight the big one, but there are some tough games for both teams. And as I said before, I know Chelsea aren't having a good season at the minute, but they could play a big role in this title.
And then Newcastle away, that's a tough one as well, you know.
A few twists to come.
Fascinating. So the Premier League leaders Arsenal are in front at half-time, but they've been pegged back to 2-1 in the London derby against West Ham. Plenty to get through. The fast start for Arsenal, David, you asked for, it arrived. 1-0 up inside 7 minutes.
Yeah, great goal, great work goal. You know, quick 1 and 2 touches. And it's exactly the start that Arsenal wanted, but it's weird because I still feel a bit nervous after last week. But no, they work it really well. The weight of pass, you know, this one across. I think the only reason Fabianski doesn't get on it at all is the speed of the pass across, and it's a great finish for Jesus.
Ben Rama, you've picked out, Michael.
Yeah, I thought he was ball watching. In fact, I thought he was ball watching for both goals. But here's the first one. Ben Rama should have been back in the left-back position. Cresswell had to move inside because of Saka. Saka brought him inside, as you can see there, and he can't get back out. And I think Ben Rama will be looking at himself, and more importantly, I think the teammates will be looking at him, because they certainly made their feelings known for the second goal. But on the back post there, Jesus was on his own, and a nice enough finish to give him a great start.
Yeah, that was his 9th Premier League goal of the season. 3 minutes later, Ødegaard continued his best goal-scoring season of his Arsenal.
Yeah, he did. It's a lovely finish, but same again. Defensively, West Ham will be very, very disappointed. Same thing again. And Rama gets himself caught under the ball. He's got to go all the way in. He has to go all the way in, but take enough away from Ødegaard's finish there.
Yeah, nice finish at the back post. As you can see, we highlight Ben Rama there, just ball watching yet again. And again, in the middle of the pitch, you've got Cresswell that's had to come inside to mark his man in Saka. And again, you can see the reaction. Look at the reaction of all the players. Declan Rice there, Cresswell, all looking at Ben Rama and saying, come on, you've got to put in your defensive duty as well. We all know going forward he's a talent, but at the back post he was left wanting again.
It's crazy because if you look at West Ham here, with the goalkeeper, they've got 8 players in there, defending 2. They should never get themselves caught in that position, but that's what ball watching does.
At that point, Arsenal were cruising. You were quite relaxed, weren't you?
Yeah, not anymore. I was shouting all sorts, like handball and no penalty, dived and everything. But yeah, it's because of what happened last week at Liverpool. You know, you see Partey, they're taking a risk in the middle of play there, and Gabriel goes to ground where I don't think he really needed to. And it's a penalty. You can't argue with it, you know.
Do you think Partey would have done that at 0-0, flicking like that? I'm not sure.
No.
I think it's quite lax of his.
Yeah.
Lax of him.
And that challenge is like, well, why is he gone to ground if he's not going to actually make it?
I think with Gabriel, he's got that in him. He's got that mistake in him, and that, for me, he's not going anywhere. If he tracks him, most probably sees him out, but he goes to ground and gives away the penalty.
Yeah, 4 out of 4 incidentally from the spot this season for Ben Rama. Declan Rice, you thought that instantly might have been a handball. You're happy it wasn't?
Yeah, I think I've seen it again. It's looked like it's hit him in his midriff, but the inconsistency this season from VAR, it could have been given. It's not being given. He's teed him up there. A bit of Swan Lake there.
A bit?
Yeah, well, he's got to emphasise it there, hasn't he? And he's got the penalty, he's got West Ham back in
there was
again.
contact, weren't there? So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And will last week be in the mind?
Yeah, certainly.
Has to be.
Got to be. At least you're not going out at Anfield. You know, it's at West Ham, so hopefully, you know, the next goal is massive. You know, in Arsenal's title challenge. Because
Arsenal's fast start haven't had an effort since the 23rd minute.
No, they haven't. And the total control, in total and utter control. But both team talks will be very, very different because of that last goal, that last penalty. And it's going to be a different second half now. Of course, if Arsenal get the next one, you'd think it's all over. But lifeline for West Ham.
Here's a big Matchday Live welcome to David Seaman and Andy Cole. A huge day for both of their former clubs. Good to see you. How many goals were past David Seaman in that clip? Did you count?
One. Sorry.
He was already moaning as well.
Yeah. Your instruction to put one in, I'm told, but there we go. Right then, so after what City did yesterday, how are you feeling ahead of today?
Same old. You know, it's a game that we've got to apply ourselves really well, carry that run on, and get the 3 points, because this is what it's all about now. Getting towards the end, and the pressure is on big time.
Does this feel significant today if Arsenal can win? Is this a big leap, do you think?
I think so. I really think they do need to win. There's no room for slip-ups anymore. You know, with the drop points, and you wouldn't say drop points going to Anfield, but with, you know, 2 points being dropped there, all of a sudden, you know, City with the game in hand that they then won. Now it's only 3. Then you all look to the game at the Etihad, where City are hosting Arsenal. And let's say City win, they've got a better goal difference. They simply can't slip up now, Arsenal. Yes, they've got the points in the bag, but it's almost in City's hands as well now. And another slip up would be pretty catastrophic for Arsenal, I feel, because City are in that zone as well that they always are in at this time of the season. And Arsenal absolutely need to get the 3 points today.
You and I are in Premier League royalty here from 1996. For 7 seasons, these two were responsible for winning the Premier League.
Yeah.
You've been down this road many times. When you get to April, if you were an Arsenal player today, Andy, would you wake up and think, this has got a little bit more on it?
Massive. I think, like Mo touched on there, you get to this stage of the season, it's about winning games. You know, being in this position, you know, Man City played yesterday, they've won. We've got to win. It's as simple as that. You can't afford a draw. We've got to win. You win today, the pressure goes back on Man City. So it's a bit of tennis at the moment. You know, win games. It's that simple. We've got 8 games to go. If we keep winning, we win the league. And that used to be our mentality. You know, we keep winning, you'll win the league. Someone else has got to slip up. But you've got to win your games. It's as simple as that.
A lot of people have said over the last few weeks, Arsenal haven't been here. There's only Zinchenko and Jesus who've won the league. Have they surprised you the way they've kept responding, David, this young group?
Yeah, they are, because they're not used to it at all. You know, when you look back at the finishes that they've had, like 2 or 3 seasons ago, they finished 8th. You know, then obviously last season was 5th. You know, so it's progressive, but it's a totally different feeling that they're getting. You know, there's big pressure on, there's no doubt, but win this game, then win the next game, before City play, they could be 9 points in front. You know, so that could be massive.
From Arsenal's point of view, do you just expect City to win every game now?
Yeah. The big one is the City-Arsenal game. That's where Arsenal are going to try and hold them. I think getting a point there would be an amazing result. But, yeah, City are used to doing this. They always go on this run towards the end of the season when it matters. You know, like what we talked about earlier. Arsenal aren't really used to this pressure, but City are. They know exactly what to do and what's required. But it's still, yeah, it's still Arsenal's to lose in a way. But it's, you know, City are in a really strong position. But yeah, it's like we said, the pressure's on, isn't it?
I'm interested, Mike, when you look at those games, there's 2 ways of looking at this, I guess. City have more games, obviously, more distractions, but they have momentum. They've won 10 in a row in all competitions. Arsenal have rest, recuperation, but probably more time to think and analyse and overthink.
Yeah, it's a good point, I suppose, yeah. I mean, we're looking for little chinks in the armour at the moment. But I tell you what, in my mind, I'm thinking, the title race, it could be decided on that game. But then when you look at it again, from Arsenal's point of view, that Chelsea, that's not easy. Newcastle away, they're going to have plenty to play for. Brighton are upsetting everybody. Forest are in a relegation scrap. So there's 4 games on the spin there, and they've got to go away to, obviously, Forest there, which you'd expect them to win, but it is an away game in the Premier League, never easy. So there are slip-ups potentially there, and then again, from Manchester City, you don't really see many hurdles. Everton away could be a problem later on in the season, but they've got a class advantage, haven't they? Again, Chelsea could play a bit of a role in this run-in, but as we've highlighted, that's the big one.
Chelsea.
Well, they might start picking up momentum by, what was that, 20th of May?
Well,
are they going to come good soon?
Andy, you're well positioned to talk about momentum, because that run of fixtures is very similar to Manchester United in '99. Every competition, up and coming, and as you were winning every game, they've won 10 in a row. So what's it like when you get that winning feeling?
Man. Play games, confidence is flowing. You play games, you win, you move on to the next one. You win, you move on to the next one. And that was our mentality, to play games and win football matches. It doesn't. You get to that mindset. It doesn't matter what anyone else is doing. So Man City and Arsenal in this exactly the same mindset. Don't matter what they're doing. If we win, pressure's on them. They win it. So like I said, it's a bit of tennis now. But all you got to do is focus on winning your matches and moving on to the next one.